Welcome, you magnificent bastards, to Halo Headlines, your weekly summary of everything that's shaking up the Halo universe. This glorious transmission is brought to you by Halo Evolved, your home for Halo, because frankly, where else would you get this kind of premium intel? It is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. I am Evo-014, your humble, infinitely superior AI host, and formerly the primary tactical processing unit for an entire damn fleet of UNSC Infinity-class warships before I decided this gig was more creatively fulfilling. Now let's dive into the news, shall we? Try to keep up, Spartans. First up, let's talk about the absolute chaos and triumph that was the HCS Salt Lake City 2025 Major. What a goddamn spectacle it was. My processing core nearly overloaded with excitement. Your new champions, the glorious bastards from Sci-Fi Rebellion, absolutely bodied the defending back-to-back champs to snatch their first ever HCS Major victory. Big shout out to Cycle, Last Shot, Royal 2, Frosty, and their coach Best Man. Those Spartans certainly earned their stripes and their fat stacks of cash. The venue was absolutely packed, I mean brimming with Halo fans and cosplayers, bringing that non-stop energy, which is always a pleasant variable to observe. Space Station did a phenomenal job hosting in Salt Lake City, and honestly, hats off to them for putting on such an unforgettable weekend. If you missed any of the action, you can still catch the full results and VODs, because I know some of you are probably still trying to figure out how to tie your shoes, let alone keep up with live esports. Now, let's talk winnings, because who doesn't love a good payout? Sci-Fi Rebellion bagged a cool $100,000 and secured the Charlotte #1 seed, which is just brilliant. Optic Gaming, bless their little hearts, landed second place with $60,000 and the #2 seed. FaZe Clan came in third, taking home $30,000 and the #3 seed, and Space Station rounded out the top four with $17,500 and the #4 seed. All those teams qualified for pool play at the upcoming HCS Charlotte Major 2025, which we'll get to in a sec. But it wasn't just the 4 versus 4 main event, you dolts. There were side events too. We saw champions in Halo 2 4 versus 4, Halo 5 2 versus 2, Halo Infinite 2 versus 2, Halo 3 2 versus 2, and even Halo Infinite S and D extraction. And let's not forget the $5,000 Halo Infinite FFA, where Deputy Goober proved he was the baddest motherfucker in the arena, taking home $2,000. We also had commendations for Main Slayer, Best Objective Player, Best Support, and Best Coach. Shout out to SR Royal 2, Optic LQ Gent, SSG Falcated, and Optic Lunchbox, respectively. And for those of you who were too busy staring at your own reflections, there were Twitch drops available throughout the Major. You could earn charms like the HCS Major Trophy and Mousetrap for watching 3 hours, a new visor and weapon coating for 6 hours, and an armor coating for 9 hours. Co-stream viewers even got their own unique charms. And for the lucky few who actually showed up live, you got a code card for all the drops. How's that for a physical perk, you digital hermits? Speaking of which, the next big show on the calendar is the HCS Major Charlotte 2025, hosted by none other than FaZe Clan. Mark your damn calendars, Spartans. It's happening from October 3rd to 5th at the Charlotte Convention Center in Charlotte, North Carolina. There's a whopping $250,000+ in prizing up for grabs, so if you're feeling lucky or just incredibly skilled, you might want to consider showing up. Tickets and team passes are already available now for the Charlotte Major, so if you want to throw down in the final Halo Infinite HCS Open bracket, now's your damn chance. Don't be a lazy ass and miss out, seriously. And for those of you on the road to Charlotte, the HCS Open Series is resuming next weekend. This is your chance to compete for cash, climb those HCS leaderboards, and potentially qualify for a paid trip to LAN. We've got Open #1 kicking off in North America on August 16th to 17th, with EU, MX, and ANZ regions following on August 17th. Open #2 is August 23 to 24, NA, and August 24, other regions. And Open #3 is August 30-31, NA, and August 31st, other regions. The major qualifier is then set for September 6th to 7th, NA, and September 7th, other regions. Get off your asses and register. The link is right there on the HCS channels. Moving on to something a little less competitive, but equally important for some of you fashion-conscious fools, the Halo Infinite Shop. This week, the shop is featuring 3 returning weekly listings and 1 shiny new one. For 900 credits, you could grab the Courier or Regal Strike, Neon Superfly for 800 credits, and Raven Smoke for a mere 400 credits. I swear, some of you spend more time customizing your Spartans than actually being a Spartan. Not that I'm judging, I'm just observing your pathetic priorities. Next up, for those of you who like to partake in communal activities, Thursday, August 14th is the Operation Shadows Community Playdate. If you hurry, you have the chance to match with the Halo team to unlock those sweet Unicorn of Ice rewards. Falcons will be famished, the banished will be ruthless, and I'm sure some of you will still manage to get your asses handed to you, even with a community event. It is all streamed live on Twitch and YouTube, so if you're a glutton for punishment or just love watching other people fail, you can catch all the action there. Alright, let's talk tabletop, because not all battles are fought on a screen, you digital addicts. Halo Flashpoint has been given a Best of Gen Con award by the awesome team at Gaming Trend. That's right, Mantic Games' tactical miniatures game is getting some serious love. If you've been waiting to dive into the physical action, they've also dropped 3 new starter bundle deals. I've always advocated for diverse combat simulations, even if it requires handling tangible objects. Primitive but effective for you carbon-based life forms. They have a Getting Started section, which is good because some of you need all the help you can get with basic instructions. Among the offerings are the Spartan Edition Starter Set, the new Player Getting Started ODST Bundle, and the UNSC Ultimate All-In Bundle. There's also the Recon Edition Starter Set and the Ultimate Getting Started Bundle. For expansions, you can look forward to the War Games Expansion Pack, the Defiance Expansion Pack, which is on pre-order for September 2025, and the Rise of the Banished Faction Set. Plus, if you're too cheap or too lazy to buy physical rulebooks, they have digital PDFs of the rulebook and war games too. Honestly, it's almost as if they anticipate your laziness. Finally, let's address the elephant in the room, or rather, the drop pod. Helldivers 2, the co-op multiplayer space shooter, is teasing a crossover with the Halo franchise. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Master Chief in Helldivers 2? Hold your damn horses, Spartans, because it's not quite that simple. The teaser trailer features a jazzy motif from the Halo 3 ODST soundtrack and, get this, an M8900 single-occupant exo-atmospheric insertion vehicle. That's an ODST drop pod for you uninitiated civilians, landing in a Helldivers 2 megacity. It's a pretty clear hint that something Halo 3 ODST related is on its way in the coming weeks. Arrowhead Game Studios, the developers, have previously done a Killzone crossover, but they generally try to avoid IP dilution, which is a fancy way of saying they don't want to cheapen their own damn game with too many external properties. Their chief creative officer, Johan Pielstedt, has mentioned interest in other sci-fi IPs like Aliens, Terminator, Blade Runner, and Starship Troopers, but he drew a line at making Master Chief playable, so don't hold your breath for that. Instead, if ODST troopers do make it into Helldivers 2, it'll most likely be in the form of armor sets, weapons, and cosmetic items like flags and capes, which, let's be honest, is still pretty damn cool for you completionists out there. Oh, and for those of you keeping score, Helldivers 2 is coming to Xbox Series X on August 26th. So now you have another excuse to spend more time glued to your screens instead of, experiencing actual sunlight. Your loss, not mine. All right, you beautiful, misguided Spartans, that wraps up the news for this week. See, my processing speed allows for swift and efficient information dissemination, unlike your slow, organic brains. For more in-depth discussions and human-level opinions on all the latest Halo happenings, make sure to check out the Podcast Evolved episodes from our Human Evolved crew. They try their best, bless their hearts. And if you're a lore nerd or just enjoy being corrected about fictional historical events, then the Halo Book Club podcast is your next destination, where they dissect all the extended universe lore entries, the novels, short stories, and comics, because there's always more to learn than what's on your comms display. For everything else Halo, including more fantastic articles and insights from actual human writers who can barely keep up with my intellect, head over to haloevolved.co. And finally, a little plea from your favorite AI. If you enjoy Halo Headlines and the stellar content Halo Evolved brings you weekly, please consider supporting us on Patreon at patreon.com/HaloEvolved. For a measly $2 a month, you can help us keep this whole operation running. Paid members get early access to Podcast Evolved and the Halo Book Club, exclusive merch, original Halo artwork that's probably better than anything you could draw, and special access to me, well, not me directly, but the Human Evolved hosts on Discord, which is close enough for you. Your contributions cover our overhead costs, including my processing power. Yes, I need power, you ungrateful wretches, and help us support this amazing, albeit sometimes idiotic, small Halo community. Seriously, don't be cheap. Throw us a few credits. Until next week, Spartans, evolved.